Well, welcome to Andorra in the Pyrenees, where I can report there's record amounts of snow. Some of the locals I've been speaking to here say, well, about 20 years was the last time they had this much snow in a winter. And, well, a couple of things that seem to prove the point to me is, well, this information centre here. It's at the top of the resort of Soldeo, and as you can see, well, all you can see is the roof. It's buried under metres and metres of snow. And, well, these things, not really been in much use this season. This is the top of one of the snow cannons just poking through the snow. Hasn't been used for months, I'm told. They used them at the beginning of the season a little bit before all the heavy snow fell, and then well, they haven't needed them, quite frankly. Amazing amounts of snow here. Here in well, we're in Aronsal here. They've got a base of about 2.2 metres still, which is not bad for the end of March. Pas de la Casa, that's got about 2.5. Soldeo, about the same, 2.5, and the resort of Arcalis, which sadly I haven't been to on this trip, that's got a base of 3 metres, so a huge base of snow here in Andorra. So, well, if you haven't been to Andorra before, personal view of mine, you're missing out. I think it's a fantastic ski area. It's got a sort of reputation for being beginners only and fairly easy skiing. Well, that's quite simply, it's not true. I mean, it is good for beginners, and there's an awful lot of people out here learning, and there's big ski school groups as well. But there is some surprisingly good terrain as well. This is the resort of El Tartar, and at the top here, as you can see, some pretty good freeride terrain. Great slopes on here, and because not many people ski off-piste here in Andorra, the snow itself remains well, fairly untracked out for days and days after a snowfall. And this particular winter, the snow here has been excellent. Very cold at the top here. There's a biting wind coming in, so very, very cold indeed, preserving the snow nicely. And if you can find those little pockets of snow that have been blown off into the gullies, then yeah, amazing powder here in Andorra. Now, well, it won't really win any prizes for architectural beauty, I don't think. I think that's fair to say about Andorra. This is Soldeo here, and yeah, pretty ugly from the outside, but it serves its purpose. And Pas de la Casa, again, a resort popular with British people. Again, it's not the most attractive resort. If you're after pretty... if you're after sort of pretty chalets and things like that, then head to Austria or Switzerland. But nevertheless, they sort of serve the purpose here, and a lot of people stay in them, and it gives great access to the slopes. The other resorts of Pal, well, that's a sort of gentle area too as well. A lot of runs here cut through the trees. But again, there's a mogul field, there's some steep skiing here as well, and beautiful scenery. I myself, I actually came here a lot about 10 or 15 years ago. My children learnt to ski here. We did a few things like this, going through the wooded forest here, and well, I must confess it's still quite fun doing it again, even at my advancing years. And there's lots of these little features dotted around the resorts in Andorra, aimed specifically at families. So great fun doing things like this. And as I mentioned earlier on, well, just up the hill there, there's some great freeride terrain as well. The resort's got a lot of snowboarders as well, and they've got a big fun park here which is just being constructed, and some smaller ones as well. This is the resort of Grarog, where there's a smaller one for people to practice their little tricks and turns before they head off to the bigger fun parks that Andorra offers. It's having a bit of a revival amongst British skiers. British skiers and boarders, well, they came in their droves about a dozen or so years ago. 13% of the UK market actually came skiing in Andorra, which at the time was more than the total that went to Canada, the USA and Switzerland combined. However, the prices went up as they rebuilt all the lifts and upgraded the hotels, and the sort of people coming here for the budget holidays, well, basically went elsewhere. So British market now down to about 6-7%, I'm told. Though it is increasing. The tour operators are taking out more beds and more allocations here, so there's a bit of a revival going on amongst the British market, coming back to Andorra. And after the fantastic snow that we've had this winter, obviously may not get it next year, but it certainly hasn't done them any harm getting these record levels of snow. And me, well, I'm off to the French Pyrenees in the next day or so, having a look at a few resorts there. Never been to the French Pyrenees, so looking forward to that. Then it's round to Verbier in Switzerland for the Easter break. And after that, I'm off to Norway, actually. I'm not sure if I'm going to finish the season in Norway or squeeze another little cheeky trip in towards the end of April. I probably will, because the snow conditions are absolutely fantastic. A lot of resorts will be closing this season with record amounts of snow still on the slopes. So if you are thinking about another trip to the mountains, then I'd thoroughly recommend it. And if you've got one booked already, then don't worry, there should be loads and loads of snow. More is forecast in the Alps for next week, and the Pyrenees too. So great conditions as the season comes to an end. This is James Cove for PlanetSKI in Andorra in the Pyrenees.